Two best friends named John and Jeremy shares a wild hobby, crashing weddings to meet women. Their unusual pastime follows a strict set of sacred rules passed down from Jeremy's legendary mentor. One day, Jeremy tells John that wedding season is coming, and both get excited since they already have 17 weddings lined up to crash. At their first wedding, the Jewish one, they wear kippahs to blend in. During the ceremony, John spots his target, quickly uses eye drops to fake tears, and the woman notices him getting emotional. Jeremy also locks eyes with a blonde woman sitting in front. When the ceremony ends, everyone cheers. At the reception, John and Jeremy easily win everyone over. They dance, drink, and chat with guests, even giving a heartfelt message to the newlyweds. Later, John dances with the woman from earlier, who hugs him after recalling his tears during the ceremony. Jeremy, dancing with the blonde, pretends to be a professional bullfighter. She's impressed and kisses him. We then see the two crashing more weddings from their list, each time using new names and made-up stories. The guests aren't entirely sure who they are, but they tolerate them because they're fun. John and Jeremy enjoy every moment, using made-up tragic backstories to charm different women at every wedding. One morning, Jeremy excitedly shows John a newspaper and says the next wedding will be their greatest crash yet, the daughter of the Secretary of the Treasury. John hesitates, saying he's exhausted, but Jeremy reminds him of one of their sacred rules. John finally agrees, insisting they plan it carefully. Jeremy beams, ready to start plotting their move. At the big event, the two review their plan one last time. They've gathered articles and details about Secretary Cleary and his family. Before entering, John notices one of the secretary's daughters, Claire, and is instantly drawn to her. He tells Jeremy their fake backstory. They're brothers and venture capitalists from New Hampshire. When the ceremony begins, Jeremy spots his target, a red-haired girl named Gloria, another of the bride's sisters. After the wedding, John approaches Claire as she organizes the gifts. He playfully guesses what's inside each box. When Claire hands him one, he predicts it's filled with massage oils and a tantra book from a quirky aunt. She checks the tag and laughs. It really is from an aunt. Amused, she says he's good at it, and John jokes that his power only works on useless gift items. They share a laugh until Claire's mother interrupts. Meanwhile, Jeremy entertains kids nearby to impress Gloria. One spoiled boy demands he make a bicycle from balloons. Jeremy tries to refuse, but the boy yells until he gives in and does it. Gloria, amused and impressed, compliments him. Jeremy smiles and invites her to dance. John, on the other hand, dances with a little girl to catch Claire's attention. Later, he approaches Secretary Cleary and introduces himself. John praises the secretary's paper on economic expansion, saying he read it while sailing his boat to Bermuda. The secretary, delighted that John read his work and is also a sailor, invites him to the deck to enjoy cigars together. Jeremy dances with Gloria and uses his usual emotional story, claiming he went to war and lost many good men. Later, they sit by the lake as he continues with his made-up tale. Gloria is deeply moved, kisses him, and suddenly throws herself at him. Meanwhile, Claire interrupts her father and John, who are enjoying a pleasant chat. The secretary excuses himself, leaving Claire and John alone. She tells John he's quite the star at the wedding, and he replies that it's easy since everyone is kind. Claire mentions she's about to give a toast and shows him her prepared notes. She's confident people will love it because it's funny. John reads it and gently tells her that it might not land well, suggesting she speak from the heart instead. Claire doesn't believe him and decides to stick to her script. When it's time for her toast, the best man first delivers a touching speech, earning warm applause. Then Claire takes the stage and follows her script, but the crowd remains silent. John watches uncomfortably as the room grows awkward. Claire glances at him, and he signals her to be sincere. Taking his advice, she speaks from the heart, recalling what John told her about true love, and expresses her happiness for her sister. Her sister tears up and hugs her as the guests applaud the heartfelt speech. After being intimate, Gloria hugs Jeremy and says she's glad she gave her first time to him on the beach. Jeremy is stunned, realizing she was actually a virgin. Gloria smiles, saying they'll be happy together, and tells him she loves him. A while later, Claire approaches John, thanking him shyly for saving her speech. Before he can reply, a man arrives and kisses Claire. She introduces him as Zach, her boyfriend. John forces a smile as they walk away, clearly disappointed. Jeremy rushes over and insists they leave right away, explaining that the woman he was with turned out to be clingy and overly attached. John hesitates, but then Gloria appears and invites them to stay at her family's house. Jeremy tries to decline, but John agrees, thinking it's polite. Gloria cheers and begs her father to bring them along. The secretary hesitates but gives in after Gloria pleads like a spoiled child. At the Cleary mansion, John notices Jeremy looking drained. Jeremy mutters that Gloria exhausted him and he's completely out of energy. Before John can respond, Sack interrupts and invites them for a friendly football game. Out on the field, Sack warms up aggressively. The game starts, and when Jeremy catches the ball, Sack charges hard, knocking him flat. John, meanwhile, manages to stay close to Claire. Sack mocks the winded Jeremy, who struggles to breathe. They finally call off the game, and Gloria takes Jeremy upstairs to patch him up. In the bathroom, Gloria tends to his wounds but soon starts teasing him again. She sits on his lap and gets overly forward. Jeremy tries to stop her, saying he's hurt and exhausted. She gets upset and slaps his injury. Jeremy quickly apologizes, and Gloria softens, warning him never to leave her. Downstairs, Sack brags to the family about saving sea otters from an oil spill. Jeremy, still uneasy, whispers to John to use the eye drops trick. John hesitates, saying he can outshine Sack fairly, but after one more look at Sack's smug face, he changes his mind. During dinner, the priest asks everyone to close their eyes for a prayer. John takes the chance to slip eye drops into Sack's glass. As they begin eating, Sack announces that he and Claire are getting married soon. Secretary Cleary proudly says their marriage will unite two great American families. John cracks a light joke, and only Claire laughs sincerely. Sack then asks how John and Jeremy are related to the family. John quickly says they're Uncle Ned's sons. Everyone looks confused, unsure who Ned is, but they decide to let it go. After dinner, John spots Claire sitting alone by the stairs outside. He joins her, and they share a quiet, heartfelt talk. A few moments later, Secretary Cleary comes out and interrupts, saying Sack isn't feeling well and Claire needs to check on him. Inside, Claire finds Sack clinging to the toilet, sick from the eye drops. When she gently asks if he's okay, he snaps back angrily, showing his true nature, a short-tempered boyfriend who likes to boss her around. Later that night, Jeremy is jolted awake by something pressed against his face. It's Gloria, completely unclothed, sitting on top of him. He struggles, realizing his hands and feet are tied. She tapes his mouth and says she's going to make his dreams come true. Meanwhile, John can't sleep. He gets up and quietly walks to Claire's room but stops at her door, deciding not to go through with it. At the same time, Claire, also restless, sneaks to John's room and leans against his door before heading back. Sack, still sick, remains in his room. The next morning, Jeremy tells John they need to leave immediately because he can't take Gloria's obsessive behavior anymore. John replies that the eye drop plan didn't work and nothing happened between him and Claire. Jeremy teases him, saying he's fallen for her, but John denies it. Jeremy insists on leaving anyway, but John reminds him of their first rule: never leave a fellow crasher behind. Reluctantly, Jeremy agrees to stay a little longer so John can have one more chance with Claire. Meanwhile, Sack calls one of his friends and brags about his bachelor party, revealing that he cheated on Claire with several women. He then asks his friend to hire a private investigator to look into John and Jeremy. Later, John and Claire go for a bike ride together. Sack asks the butler where Claire is. When he learns she's out riding with John at the beach, he angrily shuts off the TV. At the beach, John and Claire play a lighthearted hand-slapping game and laugh together. John gently asks about Sack, and Claire admits they've been discussing marriage, but she's nervous about it. John tells her that no matter what happens, he hopes she realizes she deserves someone truly good. She looks at him for a moment, then kisses him. At lunch, Sack proudly announces that he and Claire are officially engaged. Everyone claps, except John. Jeremy whispers for him to let it go, but John shakes his head and says he can't. He then confesses that he's in love with Claire. Jeremy calls him insane, but John insists he's going to tell Claire the truth. Jeremy goes to talk to Gloria and tells her that their relationship can't continue. Gloria insists she loves him, but Jeremy says it's probably just infatuation since she gave him her first time. Gloria then admits she isn't actually a virgin. She only said that because she thought it's what men like to hear. Jeremy is left stunned. Later, Jeremy shares drinks with the priest and confides about his situation with Gloria. He admits that when he thought she was innocent, he wasn't into her, but now that he knows she's bold and unpredictable, he strangely finds himself drawn to her. He thanks the priest for listening and, in his drunken state, gives him a quick kiss on the cheek. Meanwhile, John approaches Claire and tells her she can't marry Sack. When she asks why, he finally confesses that he's fallen in love with her. Inside, Sack gets a phone call from his friend and looks shocked by what he hears. Outside, John asks Claire if she feels the same way. She hesitates, saying maybe, but admits she doesn't really know who he is. John is about to tell her the truth when Sack storms in and punches him. Sack then exposes everything, that John and Jeremy crash weddings just to meet women. Claire turns to John and asks if it's true. John admits it, and everyone reacts with disappointment, everyone except Gloria, who still adores Jeremy. The secretary orders the two to pack their things and leave. As they go, Jeremy quietly says, "I want you," and Gloria softly replies, "I love you." The family returns inside as John and Jeremy drive away. Weeks later, Jeremy is on the phone sweet-talking someone when John bursts in, saying he has a plan to win Claire back. Jeremy tells him to give it up. It's been months, and Claire hasn't returned his calls or replied to his letters. John refuses to quit, saying they'll crash Claire's engagement party that night. Jeremy says he's out, but John presses, asking what's wrong with him. He reminds Jeremy how he's been distant for weeks, and now, when he needs him most, he's not there. Jeremy argues that there's no way they'll get inside because security knows their faces. John grins and says he's already planned it. They'll disguise themselves as waiters. He tells Jeremy the time and leaves. That night, John knocks on the kitchen door at the back of the venue. The butler opens it and asks where Jeremy is. John says he's running late and walks inside. During the dinner, Secretary Cleary notices Claire looking gloomy, so he invites her to dance. John peeks through the doorway and watches them, smiling faintly, but Sack spots him and, with his men, drags John out and beats him badly before leaving him on the ground. John is furious, not just because of the beating, but because Jeremy never showed up. When he returns home, John finds Jeremy passionately kissing Gloria. Enraged, John storms out. Jeremy chases after him, but John turns and shouts that he got attacked by Sack while Jeremy was off having fun. Jeremy defends himself, saying he's in love with Gloria. John, in disbelief, calls him a traitor and walks away. Jeremy tries calling John several times, but John never answers. Jeremy spends his days alone, drinking and staring blankly at the TV. Meanwhile, Claire and Sack are busy preparing for their wedding, but Claire's heart clearly isn't in it. She tries to be cheerful, but Sack is easily irritated and constantly dismisses her efforts. When Jeremy visits John, he finds the place empty. John is back to crashing weddings again, but this time, he's doing it all wrong, giving gloomy speeches, stealing bouquets, and even knocking over the band's instruments. One night, Jeremy proposes to Gloria, and she joyfully says yes. While choosing flowers with his daughter, Secretary Cleary notices Claire crying. He gently tells her that no one can predict the future, and all she can do is listen to her heart, then everything will fall into place. One morning, Jeremy visits John's apartment to wish him a happy birthday. He apologizes for what happened and says he misses him. John admits he misses him too and says he's glad Jeremy found the right woman. Jeremy hugs him, and John smiles faintly. But when Jeremy mentions he's getting married, John suddenly tells him to get out. Jeremy reminds him they've been friends for 16 years and says he wants John to be his best man. Still upset, John tells him to leave. Later, John visits Jeremy's old mentor, who still lives with his mother at age 40. Chas comes downstairs wearing a robe and holding nunchaku. John introduces himself as Jeremy's friend, and Chas greets him warmly. When John says Jeremy is getting married, Chas bursts out laughing, calling him an idiot and a fool. A woman then comes down the stairs, and Chas passionately kisses her before she leaves. John is stunned, and Chas proudly says he's living the dream. When John asks where he met her, Chas casually says at a funeral. Her boyfriend had just passed away. John is speechless. Chas grins and says funerals are even better than weddings. He invites John to join him at the next one, but John says he's not ready for that. Yet soon after, John is seen at a funeral with a grieving woman clinging to his arm. Across the room, Chas is pretending to cry as another woman comforts him. He winks at John, who watches in disbelief. When John looks at the real widow weeping, something suddenly clicks in him. Later, at Jeremy and Gloria's wedding, John shows up. He tries to sneak in quietly, but the door slams shut, catching everyone's attention. Security moves to escort him out, but Jeremy shouts that John is his best man. John walks up and apologizes for being late. During the ceremony, he leans toward Claire and whispers that she looks beautiful and that he can't stop thinking about her. Claire quietly walks away. John follows her and says he never had the chance to explain. He admits that he's been crashing weddings for years just to meet women. Claire calls it pathetic, and John agrees, but adds that it led him to her. He tells her he lied about his name and his job, but his feelings were real. He shares that at a funeral earlier, he saw a widow crying for the love she lost, and it made him realize he doesn't want to lose the love of his life. Sack steps in, demanding Claire return to the altar. She says she can't marry him. Sack then tells Secretary Cleary to make her obey, but the secretary says it's her decision and he'll support her no matter what. Sack angrily shouts at Claire, insisting she go back, and John remarks that it's a great preview of their future marriage. Furious, Zach lunges at him, but Jeremy punches him down before he can reach John. Gloria rushes to Jeremy and kisses him, while John turns to Claire and kisses her too. The four of them then hop into the bridal car and drive away. As they're on the road, Gloria complains she's starving. Jeremy says there's a wedding at 3 o'clock, and John jokes that they have good food there, then quickly regrets it when he sees Claire's look. Claire laughs and suggests they come up with a new backstory. Everyone gets excited, and the four of them, now a team, head off to crash the next wedding together.